Have you ever wondered why school taught you how to calculate the area of a triangle, but never taught you how to file taxes? Have you ever wondered why you spent 12 years learning history, but 0 minutes learning how to buy a rental property or read a balance sheet? This is not an accident. This is a design. The current education system was created in Prussia in the 18th century and adopted by industrialists in the early 20th century. Its purpose was not to create thinkers. Its purpose was to create workers. Punctual, obedient, repetitive workers who would not question authority. And it worked. Most people leave the education system with a software installed in their brain that says, go to school, get good grades, get a safe job, save money, and retire at 65. In 1950, that was a good plan. In 2026, that is a suicide mission. Welcome to part 2. Today, we are going to expose the system. We are going to look at the mechanical traps, taxes, inflation, and debt that are designed to keep you running in place, and how the wealthy use these exact same forces to escape. The 3 most dangerous addictions in the world are heroin, carbohydrates, and a monthly salary. A salary is a drug. It is a consistent, predictable dose of money that sedates your ambition. When you have a salary, you stop thinking creatively. You stop looking for opportunities. You simply wait for the 30th of the month. Nassim Taleb, the famous risk analyst, said, the 3 most harmful addictions are heroin, carbohydrates, and a monthly salary. Why? Because a salary has a cap. If you work in a factory and you make 10 widgets, you get paid X. If you work harder and make 20 widgets, you still get paid X. There is no leverage. The wealthy do not trade time for money. They trade value for money. If you write a book, you write it once, but it can be sold 1 million times. If you write code for an app, you code it once, but millions of people can download it. To escape the system, you must disconnect your income from your time. You must stop being paid for your effort and start being paid for your impact. Let's talk about the silent thief living in your savings account: inflation. Politicians tell you inflation is rising prices. That is a lie. Prices do not rise. The value of your money falls. Imagine you work for 10 hours to earn $100. You put that $100 in a savings account. You think you have saved $100. But what you have actually saved is purchasing power. If the government prints trillions of new dollars, the pool of money expands, and your share of the pool shrinks. In the last 100 years, the US dollar has lost over 96% of its value. Savers are losers. This sounds harsh, but mathematically, it is true. If you save cash, you are betting on a currency that is guaranteed to lose value every single year. The rich do not save cash. They use cash to buy assets. They buy real estate, stocks, gold, businesses, or Bitcoin. They buy things that cannot be printed by a central bank. The system is designed to punish savers and reward debtors. We are taught that debt is bad. This is half true. Consumer debt is cancer. Using a credit card to buy a TV, clothes, or a vacation is financial suicide. You are borrowing money from your future self to impress people today and paying interest for the privilege. This is bad debt. It makes you poor. But there is another type: good debt. Good debt is when someone else pays for it. Real estate investors use debt to buy apartment buildings. The tenants pay the rent. The rent pays the debt. And the investor keeps the cash flow and the tax benefits. The rich use debt to get richer tax-free. Why tax-free? Because debt is not income. If you work and earn $100,000, you pay taxes. If you borrow $100,000 from a bank against your assets, you pay 0 taxes. This is how billionaires live. They don't sell their stock. They borrow against it. The system is rigged. But it is rigged in favor of those who understand the rules of debt. Robert Kiyosaki changed the world with one simple drawing: the asset versus liability diagram. Most people struggle financially because they don't know the difference between an asset and a liability. Here is the definition. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Is your house an asset? No. It takes money out of your pocket through mortgage, taxes, insurance, and repairs. It is a liability. Is your car an asset? No. It is a liability. A rental property is an asset. A dividend-paying stock is an asset. A YouTube channel that generates royalties is an asset. A business is an asset. The middle class focuses on the income statement. The rich focus on the balance sheet. Your goal in life should be to acquire as many assets as possible until the cash flow from your assets covers your living expenses. That is the definition of freedom. When your assets pay for your lifestyle, you are out of the matrix. Look around you. 99% of the world are consumers. They consume Netflix, they consume TikTok, they consume food, they consume fashion, they consume news. 1% of the world are producers. They create the Netflix shows, they create the TikTok algorithms, they produce the food, they design the fashion. Consumers pay. Producers get paid. Every time you scroll on your phone, you are the product. Your attention is being sold to advertisers. To escape the system, you must switch sides. You must stop consuming and start producing. When you wake up, do not ask, "What should I buy?" Ask, "What can I build?" The world rewards creation, not consumption. Finally, we must talk about the one expense that will drain more wealth from you than anything else: taxes. The average person works from January to May just to pay the government. But the wealthy play by a different set of rules. They use corporations. Here is the secret. A corporation earns money, spends everything it can on business expenses, and pays taxes on what is left. An employee earns money, pays taxes immediately, and tries to live on what is left. It is a subtle difference, but over a lifetime, it is millions of dollars. The tax code is not a punishment. It is a map. It is a series of incentives created by the government. If you do what the government wants, provide housing, create jobs, start businesses, they give you tax breaks. If you just work a job, you pay the most. The system is not broken. It was built this way. It relies on your ignorance. It relies on you being in debt, scared of losing your job, and too tired to learn. But now you know. You have seen the glitch in the matrix. The door is open. The question is, will you walk through it?